Gary, what are you doing here?
I just want to talk. No threats, no drama, just a conversation.
Karen's missing. What does she mean by end this chapter?
That's my woman.
Chaz, you're crossing multiple boundaries right now.
Don't play with me. What's up?
Don't even think like that.
When I look back at our life, it was beautiful.
This is next level.
Yo, what's good, everybody? And thank you for tuning in to another Tyler Perry Sistas review. If this is your first time coming to my channel, welcome. If you are a returning family member, then you already know what it is and what it always will be. Be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe. Tell somebody to tell somebody if you choose to. But if not, just sit back, relax while we get into this messy thing. Now, I know it's been a while since I released a video. I have been on a break, okay? And when black people break, we break. And that's exactly what I did. But I'm back now. So what's up? So we back. So let's just get into it. This is the extended trailer for season 9, episode 12, entitled Search Party. Here we go. Well. Gary pops up on Andy. Are we surprised? No, we are not. This is what's to be expected. The demon was away far too long, so he had to come back and make an appearance. Cheeto baby, always happy to see you. Gary, not too much. Gary, not too much. The enemy shows up to only do 3 things. That is to kill, to steal, and destroy. And Gary has done all 3. Okay? Gary has done all 3. So I don't know what he's back here to do besides what's in his realm to do as a demon, to kill, steal, and destroy. He tells Andy that he just wants to talk. No threats, no drama, just conversation. I wouldn't care if Jesus himself was standing next to Gary in the company of Moses, okay? In the company of Melchizedek. That's what my Bible scholars, Old Testament. In the company of John, Matthew, all the disciples. I would not care who was accompanying Gary. If I was Andy, I would have no conversation for him. Gary has done too much. This is my personal opinion. Gary has done entirely too much. Gary has destroyed too much. Gary has caused people to lose too much. Now, if he's a changed man, that's great. So be it. Power to you, my brother. But he needs to be a changed man in prison. Just because he's changed, it does not negate, it does not ignore all the evil things that this man has done to so many people. Just because you change, it don't erase nothing. You still need to be held accountable for the things that he's done. Gary either needs to be in 2 places, the grave or a cell. That's it. I'm sorry. Gary don't get no in between, sir. You don't get no in between. I'm sorry. I'm not here for it. Now, Danny tells Sabrina that Karen is missing, and they are all puzzled by what Karen wrote in her letter. They do not know what she means when she says that she needs to end this chapter. They're not sure exactly what she means. I'm not exactly sure, what she means. It's kind of a riddle, but I'm sure someone is going to figure it out soon. And knowing these writers, it may not be anything grand that, people may be thinking about. But then on the other hand, because the writers don't even like her like that anyway, there's no telling what they may have had this girl do or what they are going to have her do in the future. We just never know. Karen is a wild card when it comes to these writers, because sometimes I feel like they use her character as a tool because they know Ebony has the chops to do certain things that maybe the others are not able to do and to convey. And then on the other hand, they use her also as like an agitator to certain characters. And I'm just not sure, what they really want to do with Karen's character. You just have to, like I said, it's a wild card. We just never know what we may get from Wednesday to Wednesday. Chaz, Lord have mercy. Chaz shows up to Zach and Fatima's. Now, I agree with everyone else. He absolutely should not be at their home. Absolutely. However, Fatima has made this brother feel extremely comfortable doing the things that he's doing. Now, I do find it interesting that when Karen would pop up at Zach was held accountable for him not putting Karen in her place, for him not setting the parameters of the boundaries that exist between him, Karen, and his fiance. It was all put on him. And granted, I do agree. I do agree that he made Karen feel comfortable to do certain things. I agree that Zach was playing seesaw, that he was not definitive with some of the things that he would say to this woman. He would say one thing, but then his actions would show something else. And some of those same people are attempting to shift blame and accountability and responsibility for Fatima when I feel the same way as it pertains to why does Chaz feel so comfortable showing up to your home? Why does Chaz feel comfortable doing that? Now, Fatima does tell him, you're crossing multiple boundaries right now. I said, oh, now he's crossing multiple boundaries. This is where you draw the line of disrespect. Okay, so he wasn't crossing multiple boundaries when he was gifting you and sending flowers your way. He wasn't crossing multiple boundaries when he was calling you before you even left to go to work. He wasn't crossing multiple boundaries then, but he's crossing multiple boundaries because he shows up to your house while your fiance is home. Now he's crossing multiple boundaries. I really would have loved to see what would have been Fatima's response if Zach was not home and Chaz showed up. Would he still have been crossing major boundaries? That we'll never know, but that's just how I feel. I feel if Zach can be held accountable and held responsible for not saying certain things and acting upon those things when it came to Karen, the same thing can be said for Fatima. Because Chaz is merely a client, not someone that Fatima has a history with, not someone that Fatima has a friendship with or foundation with. But this man feels extremely comfortable doing a lot of the things that he just shouldn't be doing. And just granted, she's only looked over a contract. So if that's all that she's done, Fatima is not a lawyer, so she can't sign off on anything. There are certain things she cannot do. What the hell has Fatima done? Give him great what the hell? Like, come on, writers. Has she given him great conversation? Has she built him up? Did she affirm him in certain ways? What happened? Because you're not going to tell me that this man is just so enamored with Fatima for doing pretty much nothing, to the fact that he shows up at her house, gives her these incredible gifts, and showers her with flowers, and she ain't did nothing? Who the hell y'all think y'all fooling? Like, for real. Like, all jokes aside, let's just be honest, okay? Let's be real. Let's cut the BS. But y'all not gonna do that. So we just gonna move along. Well, before I move along, let me rewind. You know, Zach is telling Chaz that this is his house, his driveway, his woman. And I agree. Like, I do fully agree with don't disrespect someone's home. I'm all for that. But I can't tell y'all how much I want Chaz to punch the hell out of Zach, because Zach believes that he can beat everybody's ass. And bro, you can't. And for whatever reason, these writers believe that the character of Zach can. I just want Chaz to hit him one good time. Because, baby, that height and that power, he will knock Zach little ass out. And I'm here for it. Now, we know it ain't going to happen, okay? It's wishful thinking, but that is something that I would like to see on my TV screen. It ain't going to happen. So now I can move on along. Gary. Oh, God, baby, they saved the best BS line for last. Gary tells Andy, when I look back at our lives, baby, I thought he was finna recite that gospel song. When I look back over my life and I think things over, I can't complain. That's what I thought he was going, but this is a demon. He ain't finna recite that. So Gary says, when I look back at our lives, it was beautiful. I said, I had to clear my throat. I said, what you say, Gary? Baby, whose life are you looking back at? Because it for damn sure is not your life with Andy. Baby, that life that Gary and Andy had was definitely torment on a plate with a side of good sex. That's all it was. That's all it was. It was nothing else to it. And this is a prime example of rewriting history. This is a prime example of men and women, because it's not just men. There are some toxic ass women who get into relationships with good men who will play them, who will gaslight them, who will do all kind of things, and then come back and try to rewrite history as if that person wasn't in the relationship with you. This is what Gary is doing. When I look back at our lives, it was beautiful. When was it? It was torment. It was abusive. It was gaslighting. It was every negative adjective under the sun. There was nothing good about this relationship other than the fact that y'all probably had good sex. Other than that, that's all it was. Gary is a type of man that I don't believe women should play with. Like, I'm the type of person, baby, I live in extremes. If it's over between us, I don't care how bad I want you. I don't. I'm not going to call you. I'm not going to scheme to try to see you, especially if you've been involved with someone who is extremely toxic, someone who is abusive. Why would you even play with that? If I was Andy, the moment that Gary showed up in my penthouse, baby, I'm calling the police. I'm going to give you 5 seconds to leave on your own. And if you don't, 911, you better pray 911 and I don't, pium you. Because you only got 5 seconds to get the hell out. I'm not playing with you. Andy plays with fire, and I believe her little ass like getting burned. Because why are you sitting here even attempting to have a conversation with Gary Borders? He has shown you everything you need to see. He has said everything you need to hear. He has proven everything that needs to be proved. But see, Andy liked this mess. Every time I think that this girl got a little sense, just a pinch, okay? Every time I think Andy gets a little pinch of wisdom and knowledge and understanding, she proves my ass wrong every time. That's why I don't be here for Andy like that. Still my dog and everything, okay? On a short leash. But this is the mess. This is the mess right here that Andy be on. I just can't vibe with her because why are you there? Like I said, Cheeto boo-boo. I love you. But your partner Gary over here, baby. The pits of hell is where he belongs. But I want to thank you guys for listening. Until next time, I will holler at y'all later, and y'all be safe out there.